America. America.
I will. So here we are at Donna and Friends, and I've got a very special guest, and I've been wanting to get this guy in for quite a while, and it's Cushing's Fire Chief, Chris Fixler. You know, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's
Monday all day.
And it's Monday every day, probably, of the week, don't you think?
5 Mondays in the weekend.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So regardless, it's Monday somewhere, right?
Correct.
Right, at some given point. Well, I haven't got to visit with you, Chris, since you all got moved in, really. You know, we came and we shot a video of a tour just as you were getting in there.
Yes.
But how are you liking the new digs?
How can we not like the new place? It's a really nice place. Probably the biggest thing for us that stands out is, one, we're having to learn to live not being on top of each other. If you were ever through the old fire station, the guy's living quarters was connected to our radio room, which was connected to the main offices. So we've had to adjust to that, but then we've also gained the ability of having all our trucks in one location and all of them inside. So we're not having to go to the Gailey building or out in the parking lot where they're out in the weather.
How much time do you think that is saving when you need a piece of that equipment and it's right there versus at the Gailey building?
When we need the equipment for emergency response, the Gailey building would take us another 20, 25 minutes to go get the piece of equipment, get it out of the building, shut the building back, and then
And
take
that's
off.
probably moving at a pretty good clip because you know that time is of the essence, but it still takes a certain amount of time to do that.
It does.
And I would have guessed 20 to 30 minutes to get something like that in addition to what you're needing.
Yeah, by the time you left the other station, drove down there, they got the truck started, pulled out, shut all the doors back to secure the building, and then take off.
I mean, that's just time consuming.
It was time consuming.
So that is probably 15 to 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what's happening, that you're saving by being
in one location.
under one roof, so to speak. And that is amazing.
Plus just the wear and the tear on the vehicles, because some of them were positioned outside in the parking lot during the summer and winter months, so they're out in the sun, they're out in the rain and the hail, and you know, that would cost you some repairs sometimes to do that. So we're saving that time and money by not having them out there in the parking lot.
Absolutely. And we were there not long ago shooting another little piece that we wanted for a promo that we were doing. And it looked like you guys were all nice and settled in now, and everything looks like it runs very efficiently and very smoothly.
It took us a few months.
Right.
You know, number one, trying to unpack, 70 plus years of a department like that.
Yeah.
Getting it packed wasn't so bad. We had a little time, but getting it unpacked took us a little while, and then
exactly where it needs to go to be the most efficient place for it to be.
And trying to figure out your rhythm, you know, in a larger building like that. Everybody knew we were on top of each other, like I said before, in the old building, and we just had to figure out a rhythm, how things would work. Of course, it's a new alarm system, so the guys had to get familiar with the new tone that they heard. A whole new phone system, they had to get familiar with that. Yeah. And then honestly, the distance across the building to get from the living quarters to the trucks, you know, they had to adjust to that.
It is a long distance comparably to what you were in for so long.
Oh yeah, before they were 15 feet away from the trucks,
right.
And they're a little farther away now.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's settled in, and some of the old guys are still a little sentimental about the old building, which, you know, you spend 15 years in a place, you're somewhat sentimental. But
you bet. I'm still sentimental about my home or childhood home rather on Linwood when I go by it. I'm still
sure.
I just want to go in there and live for like a day. Just could I live there a day?
Remember the good old times.
So I understand that totally. Well, it's so nice of us to finally have this state-of-the-art facility. It has been needed, even though there's a lot of good times that, you know, you'll always have in your memory and some of the other guys. Well, I also invited you here today because we've got an upcoming holiday, and it's one of my favorites, and that's the 4th of July.
Yes.
Now, you're a big part of the 4th of July. In fact, as we were visiting before we started the filming, you told me that you hadn't had a day off in 22 years. Was that right?
Have not had a 4th of July off since I came to work at the Cushing Fire Department. Yeah. That's a busy time of year for us. Actually, the entire month of June and July are busy for us with events going on around town, but the 4th of July is very busy, yes. There will be probably 10 to 12 of us. Most of those guys are volunteering their time off that day to put everything together and
Yes.
make the event go off.
Yes. And what we're talking about here is the big bangs, the fireworks,
Yes.
the exciting event that, you know, every small town across America is looking forward to and planning on this very minute. And Cushing is no difference there.
Sure.
For them doing the same. Now, have the fireworks arrived? Have the mortars arrived?
They have not arrived yet.
Okay.
They're due to be in any day now. Once they come in, we'll inventory. We'll put them into storage. Then we have to do a thing we call squibbing, which fireworks have a black powder fuse. We fire electronically, so we have to put them together, tie them together for the electronic firing. We'll get all that done. And then on the morning of the 3rd, we'll load up all the mortar tubes and we'll take them out to the airport where we're going to shoot the show. We'll set those up, and then on the morning of the 4th, we'll start loading and be ready for that evening.
Now, it's been going on at the airport, the fireworks display, for approximately how long did
And
we?
it's 5 or 6 years at least, yeah.
And before that, it was always at the football field.
We've had it at the football field. We shot the show one year up by the water plant. Biggest problem with this show is distance. By law, we have to be 100 feet per mortar tube size. So
Oh,
we
wow.
shoot 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch shells. So that puts us a minimum of 600 feet away from the audience.
Wow. Okay. And well, I can certainly understand that. And I have had opportunity before to kind of go out where they were being stored, and they're not your average fireworks.
Not your average. No, they're not your average
No,
fireworks.
they're quite something to
They're,
behold.
They are.
Especially if you're kind of a pyro.
That's a lot of black powder. A lot of black
It's a
powder.
lot of black
Yes.
powder. Well, it's a very exciting event for Cushing, and it's something that the city, you know, the city as in community looks forward to. But listen, business-wise, it wouldn't be possible without our local businesses.
Sandy
donating
McCauley
money.
and David Reed work really hard to get the donations to make this show happen. The show that you've seen for the last 5 or 6 years, that costs about $8,500 to get those fireworks in here and make that happen. And those two work real hard for those donations.
And let me tell you, it is not easy. I want to say this for Sandy and David's benefit. It's not easy to go out and raise money for something that's going to be blown up.
No, it's not.
Right? I mean,
it's a great event for the community, and we see a lot of the community come out that night, and I think everybody enjoys it.
Yes.
But the end result is you're
literally
blowing up the money.
blowing the money.
You
Yeah.
are literally blowing up the money for the entertainment
Right.
value of it. So
Right.
I'm sure it's a little bit of a hard sell for those two, but we've had really good support, and we hope we will
Well,
in the
I tell
future.
you, we can't thank the businesses that donated enough, because
No.
without them, literally, there would not be a display for the
There would
4th of
not.
July. And so we're listing those as we do this segment, so that everyone can be sure, if you're in that business, that's listed, be sure and thank them.
Tell them thank
for
you.
their donation. Or if you
Yes.
see Sandy or David out somewhere, give them a big thumbs up.
Show
for
them your
their hard work.
appreciation.
Absolutely,
Yes.
because that's part of
Yes.
what makes that hometown celebration. It's donations and it's hard work.
And it may be a little off topic, but these are local businesses,
Yes.
so support your local businesses,
Yes,
because the local
absolutely.
businesses are supporting us for our fireworks shows. So
You
go
bet.
support your local businesses.
Absolutely. If you can buy local, always buy local.
Always buy local.
It's more convenient anyway, isn't it?
It's more convenient.
Yeah.
These are people that live in your community
Absolutely.
and support your community. So
Absolutely.
we as citizens should take care of them.
Now, something else that's going on out in the area at the airport where you're going to shoot these off, prior to that, of course, I think the event starts at noon, and you were telling me the second year for the Cushing Airport Open House.
Well, this is the second year. Yes, we were shooting the show in the past, and there wasn't really anything going on out
Yeah.
there. So Jim and the airport guys got together and said, "Well, let's do something at the airport." And they had a pretty good turnout last year and saw the enthusiasm in it.
Yeah.
So they're taking it even bigger this year. I guess they've got a World War II era bomber that's coming in. And,
Lady Liberty, isn't
yeah,
it? Isn't that the name of the
that's
aircraft?
very intriguing to me.
I
mean,
know, it's
the
exciting.
history of a plane like that, and they're doing a really nice event out there.
Yeah,
So
I
everybody
think
needs to.
They've got what, some bouncy house
Bouncy
type stuff for
houses.
the
They've got some
kids.
food going on. They've
Rotary
got
Club.
airplanes.
Let's mention Rotary Club
Rotary
because
Club, yes.
they're going to work hard cooking out there so that
Yes.
there'll be something available for people to eat. And I know there people can kind of tour around the airport and see what's changed, what's new, and that type thing. So that's really a great event, and I know they're looking to grow that event as well in the
Yes.
future, hopefully.
Yes.
So we do as a community want to
encourage
support.
everybody to go out and participate
Yeah.
that day and get you something to
Absolutely.
eat and look around the airport before the
bet.
fireworks show. And then
And helicopter and plane rides. I almost
Helicopter and
forgot
plane
that.
rides, yes.
I mean, just maybe I wouldn't do it, but there's some out there. Helicopters. I'd rather get on the plane ride, I think, but the helicopter thing.
you should do
makes
it
me-
once.
Really?
You should do it once.
Is that like jumping out of a plane? I bet you'd say I should do that too.
No, I'm not going to say you should do that. I wouldn't jump out of
Okay,
that plane.
so I feel better that
There's
you're
something
saying
wrong
you
jumping out of
wouldn't
a
do it.
perfectly good airplane. There's something wrong with that. There's
What's
something
that
wrong.
about?
Yeah, there's something wrong.
Where's the thrill of that?
That's
I mean,
it.
what if that cord doesn't work? But anyway, that's all another different
Whole
thing.
nother story.
And by the way, there is a skydiving club out at our
There
Cushing
is.
Airport for people
There
that
is.
do like.
And
kind
we
of
have a
thing.
great airport for the size
We
of community
do.
we have.
We certainly
really
do, and
do.
it's something we should be proud of, and it's something that everyone should go out and take a look at this 4th of July. Well, Chris, this has been a lot of fun. I look forward to getting with you on some other things throughout the year. But for right now, again, the sponsors that we listed, if you are out and about, please, please, please give them a big thank you and a big, big thumbs up to David Reed and Sandy McCauley
Yes.
for the time spent raising money. And well, I guess I'll see you during the big boom.
At dark. Fireworks go off at dark.
on.
There we go.
Bam. All right, we'll be back.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties